G'day, Tragic here, and welcome to Mage Night. Woohoo! This is just a setup video, don't get excited, but I wanted to upload this. Usually I don't upload the setup video until I've filmed the first episode. It's just that I wanted to put it up straight away because it's been about a week break because I've been doing this print and play stuff for Christmas, and I got sort of sucked into that and I haven't done any videos. So I thought I'd do this one now just to show you that things are moving along, everything's set up and we're ready to go. Whoa. Now, as usual, everything is randomized. We've randomized not only, the players and the start order and all that kind of stuff, we've also randomized what scenario we're going to be doing. And we're doing scenarios from the original booklet. So I do have, but I didn't use any of the scenarios from the website. There's a whole heap of scenarios, official scenarios on the website, and we're not using any Lost Legion scenarios, even though we're going to be using the Lost Legion expansion. Now, what I mean is the Lost Legion expansion added stuff. It was one of those more stuff things. It put in new cards, new weapons, new spells, but it also put in some quite important tweaks to existing spells, as in you replaced them with these new cards. We're using all the replacement cards, we're using all the monster tokens and all the spells and everything from Lost Legion, but we don't actually have the Lost Legion in this quest. Anyway, so we actually have an extra hero. I do not have the Kang expansion, unfortunately, which is a real shame because he's an awesome orc mage or something, like a druid or whatever, but I don't have that character, unfortunately. So we only have 5 to choose from, and we got a pretty good selection. We got the dragon druidy kind of nature magic guy. We got the sort of evil witch sorcerer kind of chick. We got the death knight, and we got the paladin, which is pretty cool. So we got 2 good guys, 2 bad guys. We got fighter for both and a magic user for both. Nice. So awesome. And also we randomized the type of board we're using. We ended up going with the column-based free-range board. And what basically means, there's basically a wedge shape, a free shape where you can go anywhere, and a column shape. The column shape is good because you know where the board's going to expand to. It's easy to plan your spacing, but it means that you need a lot of space. So because you can't just go off in any direction like you can in the free range. But that's the one we're using. Go dice. I even got to use my 3-sided dice for the first time. Yay. And yeah, there's actually some special... Oh, yeah, and then have I already mentioned this? I can't remember. But we then rolled for the actual quest we're doing, and it's Blitz Conquest. Now, Blitz Conquest is a little bit different to the normal Conquest, which is arguably the default for the game, is Conquest mode. Now, Blitz Conquest is just the exact same thing as Conquest mode, except it's got a shorter time. So we only have 2 days and 2 nights instead of 3 days and 3 nights. So there's a whole turn missing. And we start with some boosted stats at the beginning of the game. We start with +2 reputation, and we start with 1 fame at the beginning of the game, straight off the bat. And that allows us to recruit faster and just build up quicker. So we don't have to spend those early turns kind of leveling up our character. It's actually, Blitz Conquest is really underrated. A lot of people don't like it because, I feel like they're missing out on some of the game. But it doesn't change that much. And I'm telling you, Blitz Conquest can knock like an hour and a half off a 4-player game, easily knock an hour and a half off the game. It's pretty cool. But it does have one humongous difference, which normally I wouldn't play, but since I'm playing it, I'm doing the officials, I guess I'm going to do it. And that is, you actually get an extra source dice as well. So normally for the source dice, the source is kind of like a global mana pool that radiates from the planet. It's like, something that everyone can tap into, right? But the thing is, usually it's the number of players plus 2 dice. With Blitzkrieg, it's the number of players plus 3 dice. So there's an extra mana source, which makes it a lot easier to cast and use your spells. So it really lowers the difficulty of the game and allows you to get through it a lot quicker. It's part of the reason why Blitz is Blitz, because the idea is that it compresses the game experience down into a much shorter time. So instead of like a 6-hour game, you can get it done in 4 easy, Anyway, unfortunately, we didn't get my favorite one, which is Conquer and Hold. Conquer and Hold is the one that I actually play the most in real life with my group. 4-player Conquer and Hold is awesome. Basically, Conquer and Hold is it changes the way you score victory points to a kind of area control game, and it's all about PvP and combat. Now, while this is the Blitz mode, and I removed all the cooperatives game modes before I rolled, it's still PvP, but it's not PvP like people imagine. Mage Knight is really a race game. You know what I mean? You're racing, exploring, and fighting the board. You can fight each other, but it's almost not worth it. Okay? I'm going to do some combat, obviously, but in Conquer and Hold, it's the entire point of the game. It really changes things up. But, so awesome. And that's about it. So, I'm going to start this pretty soon. I want to read the manual one more time, and I might watch a Kalmasar episode or a Rick Royal episode or something, just so I can... Because when we play this, right, there's a guy in our game group, right? He's a teacher, actually, but before he was a teacher and he got disillusioned with the legal system, he was like a really, like a top-notch kind of lawyer guy. And because he's a lawyer, he's so good at rules. Like, he's our rule master. And he runs the Mage Knights games when we play them. So, even though I've played this quite a lot, I'm not the one that has to remember the resistances and all that kind of shit. So, hopefully, it won't be a total mess. Anyway, so I'm just going to do a bit more reading, a bit more research, upload this just to let you know it's coming. And that's about it, guys. I will see you guys next time.